Welcome to this video today, which is all about learning the basics of Forex trading success. And what we'll be looking at today is approaching the markets with a specific mindset. And in terms of the mindset I'm going to discuss today, it's one where you trade with total confidence and discipline. Your trading will be stress-free. You'll have total emotional control and total conviction that you are going to win. Now, in terms of this mindset, what I'm going to discuss is basically an ancient Chinese philosophy. Now, it comes from the philosopher Lao Tzu and his concept of the Tao and the way in life, which we're going to look at in terms of Forex trading. Now, before you think it has got no relevance in Forex trading at all, nearly every great Forex trader is going to agree with Lao Tzu's thinking in terms of the way of trading Forex. Now, first came to my attention really when I was reading the book Market Wizards, edited by Jack Schwager, and there was a nameless trader in there. Schwager was interviewing all the top traders around. This trader wouldn't give his name, and yet he was highly successful. He made several $100 million, and also he'd got a phenomenal track record in terms of his performance to drawdown. He wouldn't give his name because he thought that basically if any of his investors read the interview, they might think that his way of trading the market was a little bit too unconventional and they'd withdraw from his fund. This was despite the fact he'd made hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, in terms of the interview with Schwager was saying, well, how do you trade the markets? And he was saying, well, I sit down, I get in tune with the markets. I've got very simple techniques. And because I'm in tune with the market, I can just trade instinctively. And he said to Schwager, have you ever read a book called The Art of Zen in Archery? And basically Schwager said, no, I haven't read that book at all. It passed me by. Now, the book itself I'd read before I read the interview in Market Wizards. My background is philosophy basically, and what it's about the Tao or the way in making things effortless. You don't make any effort to do anything, you just basically act instinctively. Now, in relation to this, obviously, when I was looking at it, I was just thinking, actually, you know what? If I think back to all the philosophers that I've studied and so forth, Lao Tzu and his concept of the way is just so applicable to Forex trading. Also in the book, actually, Ed Sakota, one of the great traders of all time as well, actually did say that Eastern philosophy had a big influence on his trading. And even if a trader doesn't know Lao Tzu, if they were to be shown Lao Tzu's the way, they would say, yes, that is the way I trade the markets. Now, what I want to do first of all is just in about a minute and a half, summarize Lao Tzu's thinking in terms of the Tao and the way. Then we'll come back and discuss it in more detail and how you apply it in your Forex trading strategy. So be back in just about a minute and a half. Welcome back after that short summary of the way from Lao Tzu. Now, do I want to just discuss a little bit more about his concept of uncarved blocks? They obviously wrote that thousands of years ago. I would contend today that we were more moulded by society than ever. And what we learn to do or are taught is the right thing in everyday life is totally the wrong thing in terms of forex trading. So what do I mean by that? Well, first of all, we learn in society that it's not a great thing to be wrong. We should feel bad about ourselves. We all did when we were at school, for example. You cannot feel bad about yourself when you're wrong in the forex markets, because you're going to be wrong a lot of the time. If you let your ego get involved, you're going to run your losses. You just have to accept losses and move on. Also, we're taught in society, get a good education. Knowledge is power. The more education you've got, the better. That isn't true in forex trading. The basics of a forex trading strategy that can work is very easy to learn. Yeah, if you put too much effort into your strategy and complicate it too much, you'll overanalyze things and it will not work, okay? It's only a simple strategy you need. Yeah, in terms of trading, it isn't knowledge that is power, it's more self-knowledge that is power, i.e. the way that you approach the markets. We're also taught in society to work hard. The harder you work, the more you're going to get out of whatever venture you're trying to do. That isn't true in forex trading either. If you work too hard, I've already mentioned it in terms of analysis and the strategy. If you work too hard, you'll be basically looking for trades, and you'll be taking trades that are probably not good in terms of probability to try and force money from the markets. Now, in terms of basically thinking simplistically, that is what you have to do in forex trading as well. You'll notice that Lao Tzu says, to get wisdom, you've got to remove some knowledge all the time. If you think about the markets today, there is just so much information out there that you can read. Most of it you shouldn't even bother with. You need to keep your thinking very clean and very simple. Now, in terms of when you're trading the markets, if you look at what he's saying about the way, basically you are going to take a view that you are going to trade effortlessly in tune with the market. You're not going to be in contention with it. You're not going to be battling with it. The market actually is all powerful. There's no point in you trying to impose your opinion on it, because you will lose. You've got to be in tune with the market. It can give you money. You've got to accept your losses and run your profits. I see a lot of traders who think they're in some sort of battle with the markets. It's some sort of personal thing when they lose. It isn't. The market is just there. The real battle is with yourself. Now, in terms of prediction, he's totally right. You can't predict anything in life. It still doesn't stop traders trying to predict the markets and use all these predictive patterns, okay? Now, in terms of the way you should approach the markets, you can have very simple techniques, but what you've got to do is basically have experience of trading those techniques. For example, I trade mostly triangle formations on a chart, but they're all unique, they're all slightly different, and I'll trade them in a slightly different way. It'll come from my experience of having traded over a good number of years. Now, a lot of traders think the strategy that they learn from a book or whatever is just going to work in the markets, but most come in with too set an approach and don't understand that forex trading is like anything in life. You have got to have experience of doing it. A great footballer doesn't learn football from a book, does he? He has to go out there and play. Same in the forex markets. To get your instincts so they can make you profits, you have to go through that learning curve, which can take, in my view, a good few months for most traders coming in the markets. If you want to speed up your learning curve, then basically what you should do is look at as many chart formations as you can daily to get practice. A lot of traders coming in the market saying, look at a few major pairs. From my perspective, each day I would look at probably 40 pairs. Okay, now in terms of anyone who does that, they're going to speed up their learning curve considerably because they can have more experience at looking at the chart formations. And the one thing I would say, when you're looking at charts, once you've got that simple strategy, you should be able to do it in an instant. So it's not going to take you long. You should just be able to look at the chart, decide if you're going to do anything with it or not. But if you're coming in as a beginner, you don't have to trade all those 40 chart patterns. It's just a practice exercise to get you, feeling the markets, getting the experience of how prices move. So your strategy, very simple. Yes, you do need experience. And once you start getting experience, and if you're keeping it simple, your instincts will actually act in harmony with your strategy, and you can make a lot of money. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish off with 20 quotes from Lao Tzu. As beginners, if you're coming in the markets, learn the wisdom in the quotes coming up. I've related them to Forex trading. And as I said earlier, if you're an experienced trader, you'll know exactly what Lao Tzu is saying here, and it is correct. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to just leave you with the quotes. Thank you for watching me as usual. Take care. Have a good day.